Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is so special to me. We're talking about how to align your digital marketing with astrology. And when I talk about astrology, I'm talking about Vedic astrology because that's the type of astrology that I do. Vedic astrology can help you create your digital marketing strategy. And we're going to talk about how in the next 30 days, how you can have more clarity and more confidence and more success and even more authenticity in your digital marketing strategy. I want to welcome everyone. Thank you for joining me today, where Vedic astrology and personal development meet digital marketing. I am Shantali, and I want to talk about how Vedic astrology gives us insights into personal and professional areas of our lives. Today, we're focusing on how it can help you with your digital marketing strategy. For instance, looking at your second house, and your second house represents your voice, it represents your value. But if we look at your second house, we can determine and analyze your brand tone. And that's the tone that communicates to your audience on an emotional level, that creates an emotional connection with your audience. We can find out through looking at your second house, your brand tone, and that's very important for your messaging. Okay. And with your 11th house, we can tell and analyze your brand audience. And even if there's more than one audience, if we have to segment your audience, we can tell all of that with Vedic astrology by looking at your 11th house and really getting detailed and analyzing it. And with your third house, we can tell how you communicate with your audience, and we can really analyze your brand voice. So that's really important. So that's what we're going to kind of dig into and show you how Vedic astrology can really help you create your digital marketing strategy. When you leave this webinar, you will know how to create a digital marketing strategy with clarity, with confidence, and with authenticity. I want to talk about my story real quick and how I understood how I could really maximize my digital marketing strategy through my Vedic astrology chart. Okay. How it started was me being really confused and me being really stuck, not having a clear direction in where I should go, what I should talk about, who I should talk to, how I should talk to them in my social media, in my email campaigns, on my website, the digital marketing strategy. And what happened was I started to understand. Well, let me stop and go back a little bit. And when I talk about being stuck, this being stuck can happen for some of us. We can be stuck for days. Some of us can be stuck for weeks. Some of us can be stuck for months. And it's extremely possible that some of us could be stuck for years. And that's why I feel like it's so important for you to understand how your Vedic astrology chart can help you with your digital marketing strategy, because what we don't want is for you to be stuck for years and trying to understand how you can really align your thoughts and your feelings and your emotions and your purpose and your mission with what you say and how you say it online. We don't want you to be stuck anymore. Okay. But I was really stuck. So I understand that it can take you so long to figure out what to say and how to say it. And what I did was I started looking at my first house, because your first house is like a snapshot of your whole life. So it can tell you a lot about your purpose and what you're here to do. You look at your first house, and that's what I did. And in my first house, I have Sagittarius. Sagittarius is all about our beliefs. And my beliefs are what I hold really close to me. They're really strong, and I really hold them close to my heart. Sagittarius also can represent your spirituality. So I know because I can't really talk to anyone without talking about my beliefs and my spirituality. So I know that in my brand and in my digital marketing, I'm supposed to talk about my beliefs and spirituality. There's that. So I have that understanding of myself by looking at my first house. And I could even get way deeper than that if I talk to you about the planets and the ascendant, the nakshatra that the ascendant is in, that could tell me even more, that told me even more. But I'm going to move on to the second house because your second house in Vedic astrology represents your voice and it represents your brand tone. I have Capricorn in my second house. Capricorn in my second house tells me my brand tone and my voice can sometimes sound professional. I like to communicate. I like to talk to women who are trying to get a deeper understanding of the work environment that works best for them. They're trying to get a better understanding of their career path and their business path. Because Capricorn, it represents leadership, it represents your work environment, it represents your reputation. And that's what I have in my second house. And that's what I really like talking about. And that's just my voice. Okay. So moving on to my third house. My third house, now this is where a lot of things came together for me in my third house, because my third house is where I have Aquarius. And Aquarius is a combination of traditional and newness, traditional and future. Okay, because it's ruled by Saturn, which represents, things that are traditional, things that are require a great deal of patience to learn and to teach. Saturn represents things that they might move a little slower because Saturn is a slow moving planet. Okay. So we have our tradition there, and that's where I get my love for spirituality that's kind of ancient. And that's why I love Vedic astrology, because it's kind of older than Western astrology, which is what I started off with. So I love ancient wisdom and ancient spirituality. So there's where Saturn comes in my third house. And then I have Rahu that also rules Aquarius. And Rahu represents things that are new, things that are futuristic, things that are, you know, just out of the box. Really, what's the word I'm looking for? Things that are not ordinary, things that are out of the box, things that just represent something different, something odd. Okay, that's Rahu. And when you put these together, that's where you get astrology, because you have Rahu that represents things that are in the air, like airplanes, and it also represents the sky. Aquarius, Rahu and Saturn come together and they make Aquarius. And Aquarius has a connection to sky gods. We talk about the sky, what are we talking about? Stars. So we're talking about astrology, okay? So when I look at my third house, I see that I communicate about astrology. That's what I love to communicate about. That's what I love teaching about. That's what I love teaching myself about. That's what I love teaching my clients. So I learned a lot and gained a lot of clarity by looking at my own chart and um, getting a better understanding of what I'm here to say. And a lot of confirmation as well, because a lot of us kind of have a feeling of what we want to talk about, but we need some outside confirmation and empowerment to let us know that what we want to talk about is exactly what we're supposed to be talking about. So, Vedic astrology can really help you learn a lot about yourself. as an individual and a lot about yourself as an entrepreneur and a brander. So, what I got from all that, how it changed my life is I know exactly what I'm supposed to be talking about. I know exactly who I'm talking to. I know how I'm supposed to talk about what I'm talking about. And it's just so beautiful. And it just makes you feel so confident in what you know you're supposed to be saying and how to say it and who to say it to. And that's what I really want to share. Um, that's what I really want to share with you. Okay. So this webinar is for you. If you are, hold on my notes. This webinar is for you if you don't know what to say or how to say it online. Okay. This webinar for you is for you if you struggle to clearly communicate your authentic self and your purpose. This webinar is for you if you want to create a digital marketing strategy with clarity, with confidence, and with authenticity. This webinar is for you if you want to deeply connect with your audience by aligning your marketing efforts with emotional and psychological insights provided by astrology. It's really important that you connect with your audience on an emotional level. And with the Vedic astrology, you can really understand how you can connect with your audience on an emotional level. Why is it important to connect with your audience on an emotional level? Is because there could be hundreds or thousands of people that do the exact same thing that you do. But it's going to take someone special. It's going to take a very special message to connect with your audience on an emotional level where they connect with you and they feel you and they feel seen and they feel heard. Okay. So that's what I want to focus on in this webinar. And I'm going to talk about how I'm going to help you with this same thing, not only in this webinar, but also in my 30-day journaling challenge that I have coming up. Okay. So I want to give you a chance to, is this moving? Here it is. To put in the chat your birth time, your birth date, your birthplace, so I can evaluate your chart to get a clear indication of, give you a little mini analysis of the best way for you to connect with your audience through digital marketing. Okay, so put your date, your birth date, your birth time, and your birthplace there. Okay, and I'm going to get off of here and give you a couple examples of how we can look at certain things in our chart and get a clear understanding of what our digital marketing strategy should be. So with this chart, we have right here, if we look right here, we have Scorpio rising, and then we have K2 here, and it's conjunct Saturn, and we also have Uranus here. Okay, so this is a person, if we're looking at Scorpio, okay, this is a person who likes to research, okay, because Scorpio likes to research. Scorpio likes to get down to the bottom of things. Scorpio likes to dig and dig until it sees what exactly is underneath the surface, gets to the roots of things, okay? And This is someone who Scorpio represents psychological trauma. So this is someone who could have experienced some psychological trauma, but also someone who might like to help other people heal from psychological trauma. If you have Scorpio in the first house, a lot of what you do has a connection with healing and getting down to the root of things to get healed. Okay. And so we have K2 here. And what's special about K2, and when I say K2, I'm talking about this node, the south node of the moon, K2 right here. K2 is a co-lord of Scorpio. So there are different planets that rule different signs. And one of the signs that rules Scorpio is K2, the south node of the moon, which doubly emphasizes the wanting to get to the root of things, because K2 represents your roots, and then it also represents your ancestors because it has that connection to your roots. So your ancestors, your generational trauma was passed down in a positive way, and even what's passed down in a positive way can affect you and can affect your brand and your digital strategy when you have K2 in Scorpio in your first house. Okay, and then we have Saturn here. This is a symbol for Saturn. We have Saturn here, and Saturn represents someone who is very career orientated. They're very focused on their career, because when you have any sign or any planet in your first house, it represents your whole life. Okay. So think being very career minded, being leadership minded, being very um being very focused on your responsibilities and your self-discipline. Those are things that are all connected to Saturn. Okay. So that's really going to affect yourself as an individual, and it's going to affect you as a brand, and it's going to affect your digital marketing strategy. Saturn does things that are really it takes a while. Saturn moves very slow. If you look at the planet Saturn, Saturn moves really slow. And because of this, you're going to be a person with your digital marketing strategy who does things that is like, you're not always trying to look for some quick fix. Okay. You're going to want to take your time, create a strategy that is going to work for you, that's going to be a service to other people. But yeah, you're definitely not going to want to do anything that has to do with anything very quick. That's like get rich schemes, anything, get rich quick schemes, anything like that. You're not going to want to deal with that. But also, because if you have Aries, not Aries, why did I say Aries? Because you have Uranus here, you're going to want to do things in a way that is kind of different, that's kind of out of the box, that's kind of out of the ordinary, because that's just how Uranus works. Okay. So let's look at your brand voice. With this person, they have Sagittarius in the second house, and Sagittarius, I already explained with myself, Sagittarius is spiritual. Sagittarius represents higher education. Okay. Sagittarius represents long distance travel. So this person, their voice is going to have some connection with spirituality, their beliefs, whatever their beliefs are. Their beliefs don't have to be spiritual. It's just whatever their beliefs are is going to come out in their voice. they're not going to be a person who is like where it's going to be easy for them to hide how their beliefs and how they feel about certain things. So they're going to be a person in their digital marketing strategy where their beliefs are going to be very evident, they're going to be clear, and they're also going to be a person who's willing to fight for their beliefs, especially with the planet that represents communication there. Mercury represents communication. So they're not going to be afraid to communicate what they believe. That's going to come out in their brand voice. So if you have this, just know like sometimes you think, well, I think this and I believe this, but I don't want to say what I think and what I believe in my business. If you're this person, you want to evaluate if saying what you believe and clearly communicating what you believe will work for your audience. If you're my type of audience, then definitely, if it's this strong in your chart, this is something you should be communicating. And also you might have really deep beliefs because Neptune is conjunct Mercury, and Neptune represents like the deepest parts of the ocean. So you might have very deep beliefs that you want to communicate in your brand. Okay, if you have this type of placement, so you want to make sure that you're clearly communicating those beliefs and also not being afraid to communicate those beliefs. So if you have it, we have Sun here, and there the Sun is not conjunct to Mercury and Neptune because it's so far away. But the Sun, if it was conjunct, then they would be combust, but they're not combust in this situation, but we have two fiery planets that are together. And so we have the sun in the second house, which is a fiery planet. And the sun represents your purpose. The sun represents your energy. The sun represents your soul's purpose. And so it represents where you shine. That's what I talk about a lot with my clients is wherever the sun is in your chart, it represents where you shine. So this person has their sun in their second house, which represents their tone of voice, their brand tone, and also the sun is in Sagittarius, which represents their beliefs. So their beliefs is what makes them shine in their brand. So it's going to be really important for them not to hide anything, but to make sure that their beliefs are clear, that their beliefs are known, and that's what's going to actually help them. So for some of us that might believe that it's not good for us to share what we think and what we believe, for this person especially, it really is. Now it's conjunct with another fiery planet, which is Jupiter. And Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius. So it's Rashi, and it just makes this sign even stronger. So it's extremely important for this person to communicate their beliefs. It's extremely important for this person to communicate this in their brand. It's just no way around it with the way this is set up. Okay. So I'm going to go on to another example, and I'm going to look at the third house. Come on, let's go down. Let's let's do this. Let's work with me. Okay. So we're going to look at this person has Okay, this is a person that does not know the time or what am I looking at? Okay, yeah. Yeah, never mind. Never. I was thinking about somebody else. So this is someone who is Taurus, no, Cancer in the first house. Okay. And then they have Rahu in Mercury in the third house. So let us talk about what they like to communicate about. Okay. So if you have Mercury in your third house, what you might want to communicate about is healing, because Virgo represents health and healing. Okay. You also might want to talk about managing things and organizing things. You might want to talk about how to balance and take care of, you might want to talk about how to balance and take care of um, your daily work routine. People who talk about time management and SOPs and things like that. This might be really important to you because these are the things that Virgo represents. Now, with Rahu, the south node of the moon being here, it Rahu takes on the energy of the sign and the planets that it's with. So, yeah, Rahu kind of absorbs energy like that. So it's going to take on a lot of the energy of Virgo, which makes it just double, triple, 100 times the energy of Virgo and Mercury. Okay. So you might like really want to talk about time management and being analytical. That's Virgo. And how to overcome competition, because Virgo really represents competition and being analytical. And like you might even want to talk about how to overcome OCD, because that's a that has a lot to do with Virgo, because Virgo has a strong connection with perfectionism. And if you take perfectionism to another level, there you have OCD. Also, how to overcome the inner critic, because if you take Virgo to another level, you can take the part of Virgo that is very analytical and very detailed, and very, very prone to perfectionism. You can take that part and then go to the other side, which is being critical of other people, which is being self-critical. And then you can have those people that are stuck in their minds, that are always overcritical of yourself, so you feel stuck and you don't move forward. So those might be you might be that type of person if you have Virgo in the third house, especially with Rahu there. So you want to make sure that you communicate about how to overcome those things, how to overcome being overly critical of yourself, and how to heal yourself, probably how to heal yourself naturally and things like that. Okay. So I'm going to go to this third example. Ooh. So let's go to this third example, and I'm going to look at the audience. I'm going to look at the 11th house. Okay. So let's look at the 7th and 11th house. So we're looking at the 7th. Well, let's look at the 11th house first. So with the 11th house, we have Pisces in the 11th house. And Pisces in the 11th house helps you understand your audience, what they need from you, the type of people they are, and how you can connect with them. And if you have Pisces in your 11th house, your audience are people who have a strong understanding of how important the subconscious mind is. You have people who have a strong understanding of how important spirituality is in their lives. If you have Pisces in the 11th house, you have an audience who really enjoys deep entertainment. Like when I talk about entertainment, when I'm talking about Pisces, we're talking about people who love like production and plays, and we're talking about people who love like really deep fictional novels, and we're talking about people who have no problem being entertained or communicating about things like aliens and uh things like our ancestors we can no longer speak to. It's because of Sagittarius, not Sagittarius, but Pisces represents things that are connected to the unknown, things that you can't see. So we have entertainment there, and then we also have spirituality there, and we have like just things that are very deep in the subconscious mind. So your audience is going to be connected to things like that. And then we have Rahu in Scorpio and Saturn in Scorpio, and this means that the way that you connect with your audience, the way that you connect with them is you help them to dig deep. You help them to think outside of the box with Rahu being there. You help them to dig deep. You help them to think outside of the box, and you help them do it in a way that is strategic with Saturn being there. You help them do it in a way that it might not be the fastest way, but it's going to be a way that helps you get what you need to get. Okay. You're not afraid to take the time. Saturn represents time. So you're not afraid to help your audience take the time to dig deep to get the information that they need to get. Okay. So let's go back to, let me go back to here. Okay. And what I want to do is share with you what I have coming up on August 2nd, not August, October 2nd. And this is 2024. And I'm launching a 30-day journaling challenge. And this challenge, what you'll get with the basic level, which is free, you'll get daily journaling prompts to create your digital marketing that will help you with your personal development. And you'll also get on the second level, and this is for $10. You'll get weekly live videos that help you understand what you're going to be doing with your prompts the week coming up. And it's also going to help you understand the lunar cycle that you're in right now. That's what you'll get with the second level. And with the third level, you'll get 4 weekly readings that are aligned with the lunar phases, like the new moon, the first quarter moon, the full moon, and the last quarter moon. And the focus is going to be on your digital and marketing strategy. That's going to be like $97 a month. And this is just for this month. And we're going to dig really deep on, what is your purpose as a brand owner? What is your purpose as an entrepreneur? What is your brand tone? What is your brand voice? Who is your audience? What makes you unique? What makes you stand out? Okay. And we're going to make sure we're focusing on also the things that could keep you stuck, the things that are keeping you afraid of getting yourself out there, of letting your light shine in your digital marketing strategy, and really showing who you are with confidence and authenticity. We're going to dig really deep into that. And by the end, you will definitely have your whole digital marketing strategy set up for the next 30 days. Okay, so that is what I want to share with you. If you're interested in that, just let me know. Wherever you're seeing this, whether it's you're seeing this live or you're seeing this on YouTube, let me know. And I will send you the information to get started with this challenge. Okay, so I just want to let you know that I will be sending more information out to let you know how you can contacted and get started with this challenge. And I'm so excited to see how everything is going to turn out with everyone. As I said in the beginning, I am Shanta Lee. I am a brand strategy coach. I am an I am a Vedic astrologer. I'm also a tarot reader, and I'm here to help you understand how you can understand yourself as an individual and how you can take how you are as an individual, put it into your brand strategy, put it into your digital marketing strategy, and how you can make your brand sacred. All right. So that's what I have for you. Thank you for joining me. And I look forward to hearing more about you in the group.